Stephen Schmidt for InsiderIowa.com. Today, the front page of the New York Times has a picture of the President and the Vice President and a woman by the name of Solicitor General Elena Kagan. Elena Kagan has been nominated by President Obama to be the next Supreme Court Associate Justice. And already, of course, all heck is breaking loose. The Republicans are saying, well, we're going to have to look into her background. She's never been a judge. She hasn't written a lot about hot issues like abortion and other things. And so the Republicans are already making a lot of noise that this is going to be a difficult confirmation. On the other hand, other people are saying that she is a very smart woman who grew up in a middle-class family. Her siblings and her mother were school teachers in the public school system. She grew up in a neighborhood in New York, worked hard, went to some of the best universities in the country, became the first woman dean of the Harvard Law School, which is a phenomenal accomplishment, and was confirmed as Solicitor General with some Republicans supporting her. So she's already passed a very important test of whether she's qualified for a position in the kind of legal field at that level. And then there are others who are saying, yes, she's qualified and smart, but she is Jewish. It would put 3 Jewish people and 6 Catholics on the Supreme Court. There would not be a single Protestant on the U.S. Supreme Court. Which would be odd because the United States, the largest religious affiliations are Protestant. And there is the question of whether the Supreme Court should be made up almost exclusively of people from the East Coast, from the Northeast, and from the so-called elite schools, mostly Harvard and Yale. There is a real discussion about whether the Supreme Court ought to also have maybe some people who grew up in the Midwest, maybe went to school at the University of Iowa and places like that, in order to give it personal experience diversity. So this is going to be a very interesting appointment. I think personally that President Obama will probably get Elena Kagan confirmed this year, that the Republicans really don't have a lot that they can criticize with her. And then I think President Obama will have a third nominee to the Supreme Court, because I think he will have another retirement coming up before too long, and that would be an amazing 3 Supreme Court nominations for one president. That's not very common. On the other hand, the balance, ideological balance on the court won't change much, because she is replacing someone who was sort of liberal, and she's sort of liberal. The same was true of Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor, who also basically replaced someone with her sort of ideological position. And so the balance of the court, which is 5-4, it's actually 4-4, 4 liberals, 4 conservatives, and Justice Kennedy, who sometimes votes with the more liberal side, but more often votes with the conservative side of the court. The rulings will stay very similar to what they've been. So it's a very interesting moment in American politics. It's hard to get a Supreme Court nomination when the parties are fighting with each other, and when the Republicans don't want to really cooperate with Obama on almost anything. So it'll be tough, it'll be interesting, but in the end I think they will say this is not a fight for us that's worth it, and they will confirm her. So we'll have to watch. We'll keep you up to date here in InsiderIowa.com on how this progresses. Stephen Schmidt for Insider Iowa.